game. It's coming in maybe a bit late, but with 875 RMR points on the line, or 0 for the loser of this BO3, well, there's a good bit of pressure on this one. You want those RMR points. You want to get to the major. You want to do it as damn best as you can. So HellRaisers, they're going to set up with a bit of a bait and switch and a triple B setup as well. Fast play into the site. Syman already losing the first man. They're stuck in apps right now. They're just blinded out by the pop flashes, and suddenly a 2-for-1 coming through for HellRaisers. The trades are good, but Problem is doing exactly as his name suggests, hiding at the back of the site. Syman yet to commit, and maybe they should have, because they're getting picked apart in these apartments.
Nealon, last man standing, just has the P250 and a bomb to try and detonate if possible, but no grenades, no Kevlar, and it would seem not much hope. But he has at least faked a potential rotation that has made Flarich believe this and bite down on it. So maybe he can try and get some one-on-one skirmishes. But Problem has such an ideal angle, not necessarily for the outright kill, but for the information, and then it allows JR to wrap around from catwalk and help him out. So it is looking pretty grim for Nealon. He's still waiting this out, hoping a second player rotates across to the A site so he can at least get a bomb plant down, and it would afford them, of course, like the Lils, the AKs, the classic second round buy. Has the right idea, actually, but this is all it was about, is the early warning system. The safety net has been deployed, and Problem does finish off the round. HellRaisers pick up first blood.
All right, Vince, it's my first time casting this new HellRaisers roster. I imagine it's the same for you, but correct me if I'm wrong. Let's give this a go. How do you want to pronounce the fourth player here for HellRaisers?
So I did get a chance to cast them in the group stage, and Vendetta, who I think has a bit of knowledge about Russian, said it's Lime. Lime. Yeah.
Okay, that's. I'm glad you gave me that information, because that is not where I would have gone. And pronunciation.
Yeah, I was butchering his name, mate, for a long time. I was calling him Jalami, like, all over the place until Vendetta was like, "It's Lime, Vince. It's Lime."
I like Lime. That's a good name. That's a great name. Not clear, but now that we know, and that's all that really matters at the end of the day. Information, knowledge, it's power. And Deagles, they're pretty powerful too. So Syman, they've got 5 of them in the second round. Pretty well armed. You got HEs, you got smokes. You can definitely commit to an execute. You can take some mid control smoke, take tap, split this B site again. But a nice little grenade doing some damage to Lime. We're gonna have a B push here from HellRaisers. They're getting aggressive.
Up in the face, using those MP9s to rip through KDO, and in doing so, gonna open up things nicely. No bomb plant, of course. A Deagles really the point of call, and Syman Gaming already struggling. 3 smokes, 1 flash. Flarich spotting Norbert as he tries to pierce into the stairway, and Kalinka has him dead to rights. Another frag comes in from Lime on that FAMAS, and it's moving in nicely. It's getting pretty comfortable now for HellRaisers.
Yeah, 2 more and 30 seconds to do it. Syman, they've got to get this bomb to a site sooner rather than later, but it's been dropped in the connector, and Kiosk is all that stands here for the Syman side. HellRaisers, just a matter of time more than anything. And I was going to say a flawless round, but it is denied. Kiosk will put 1 kill the way of Syman, but nothing to be too proud of here as HellRaisers take the lead in a convincing fashion. Full eco, it's only going to get worse for these teams as P250s and nothing else can come through. Screams a B rush to me, something fast, get out of Palace, get that bomb down, or at least try and do so. And yeah, they're all going to group up towards the B side of things.
I'm still flirting with the idea of at least getting some pressure down on middle and showing some presence down there. Now they're going to decide to actually turn tail and go back towards A. Trying to sell out the fake as if it were to be a B rush. But again, Problem goes aggressive with the MP9. 1 kill forthcoming. He does get dinked, but he's okay for the time being. As long as he stays here, they know it's not going to be a B rush, and they can stack more players over on A. And we've even seen JR using his MP9 going into Palace and trying to wrap around the back of them. So things looking pretty good again for HellRaisers. Was expected, of course. The timing for Mo as he pulls out a CZ and builds the CZ back up again. Going to be pretty simple and straightforward for HellRaisers, but Flarich, that snappy aim back from Kiosk to Nealon, so well done, and that's another very clear round going the way of the CTs.
Yeah, as it really should be at this point. We're just waiting for the gun round for Syman to see what they've got to show for us, and here it is, straight into the 4th. Obviously, HellRaisers still running bonus, so a good chance of Syman are favored in this round. But obviously, it's not just coming down to the firepower, it's what you do with it. HellRaisers sending Lime into middle early. It's JR rather. Lime's going to drop under and try and fight towards the B side of things. He's actually sticking around the middle. I love it when players do this, when they don't necessarily like flank B from under, but support the mid players and cause a ruckus at the top of middle. But Syman have no one in mid. They're flashing a man out of the ramp. That's Norbert looking for kills. The rest of them are hiding around in the B apartments, going to under, and that's how they're going to eventually meet with Lime, who's fallen out. Double push for HellRaisers, a bait here for Kalinka as he jumps out of the apartments. Problems pushed further than he was. And Syman, they don't know about this yet, but they're taking their sweet time, throwing that top mid smoke, grouping in B with a bomb, and it does look to be a B execute.
Certainly seem the most likely outcome. Is potentially able to wrap back around through underpasses. Kios does get the upper hand onto JR. This bonus round hasn't started ideally on the side of HellRaisers. Just shy of a minute to play with. Kalinka with one, but Problem's going to get baited into, and the double spray in with, again, the MP9. Perfect positioning for this weapon. He's going to be eating a Molotov, forced out in position right now. He doesn't have a smoke either, so he's a goner, but it's down to a 1v1, and Kios coming out second best in terms of HP. Should be able to get the bomb planted. Has no idea where Flaric is, though, and so he's going to look for some information before he decides to fully commit.
He's going for the kill, man. He's going for the fight. He knew where Flaric was and assumed his rotation. But now that he's realized that that is not the rotation, he's just going to use it as a mind game and go towards A because Flaric is so far away. You know, if Flaric waited, for example, and Keel's planted, Flaric would still think it's B. Luckily enough, he is clearing the site as we speak. And so this bomb getting planted will give him all the info he needs. But still, yeah, great outplay from Keels, right? Like going market there, you either get the fight that you might win because, you know, it's a surprising play in the one-on-one, or you get a bomb plant on A and the chance to choose wherever the hell you want to sit, and he'll choose the ramp. Obviously very open plant as well for the CT side, but Flaric has cleared that side, and this can really only leave it to be a ramp or palace play or hidden in the site. So grenades going in, Flaric trying to work it out. He has a smoke for the bomb and a kit, so a full stick is very possible, but when he has time like this, it might be tempting to tap, go wide, jump default, and go for the fight instead, rather than risk it all. Now he knows, but he's just going to hang around in the smoke and get killed by Kios. That Flaric played that perfectly up until the point that he tapped the bomb, got off it, and didn't move a muscle.
It's a strange one, wasn't it? Because he'd already naded Firebox. Now, if the call was through, the last player was low, that should have finished him off. And then he almost played like he was expecting it to be Connector, which was the wrong side of the plant. So it's almost like he never twigged in his mind it could be ramp. Odd. But HellRaisers do have a good buy now, Hugo, so every chance to just bounce straight back into winning ways.
And not the end of the world. Don't cry over spilt milk, but God, that was a whole bottle, man. Got tears in my eyes. Syman, they're taking mid. They want to put more tears in the eyes of HellRaisers, and this AWP might be the way to do it. Mo on it. Got a man in ladder. No window control, but Kalinka can cover lower. And HellRaisers, they smoked com, but that will fade. And there's another one coming through for Syman anyway. Flash into mid. The AWP isn't going to be taking it, but it will go towards B, where Syman are working the apartments.
He's been in here a couple of times with the MP9. They do call it angles, and a due diligence is forthcoming. Neelan watching the connector push, but he gets traded out instantly from Kalinka. And so not a bad passage of play for the T's. Now they look to try and exploit the weakness on B as they push out. 3 players strong. Problems here by himself. He actually gets a kill, and JR comes in. Problem surviving with 10 HP is huge. And now Norbert and Mo have such a difficult task ahead of them. Kalinka goes down, but he's going to at least put down serious damage before he's on his way out, which will be finished off by Flaric, courtesy of the stairway push. And Mo 1-on-3 with the AWP. Surely his chances are looking pretty bleak and are dwindling by the second. 25 more to go. I'm not even sure he necessarily wants to go for this. He may just try and save the AWP instead.
Yeah, he's scoped, and so Flaric has begun his rotation as well to cut him off. So it's not like this is a surprise. HellRaisers aren't really giving him the fight. The Problem will go for it late with 10 seconds, but that's only going to send Mo scampering back, running for the hills. He exits here, he's going to die because there is a man back in top mid, back in the T-spawn side. It's Flaric, but Mo's ready for it, and it's going to be at least a round for HellRaisers, even if they don't get all the kills. AWP save, but yeah, I mean, this save is nice, and maybe it can win the round for Syman, but by and large, it's of little value because it's not surrounded by rifles. There's no one to capitalize on any opening kills that Mo might be able to get in this round, and so pistols at a best here for Syman Gaming. We're really relying on Mo to get like minimum 3 kills for this round to even be conceivable.
Strange thing for me is that Syman haven't actually posted up any official games since their last game in the WePlay Clutch Island, which was nearly 10 days ago. So they've not been playing these distant official matches. Syman, in the meanwhile, sorry, HellRaisers, in the meanwhile, have been putting up a bunch of them, but Norbert gets Flaric, he just runs into his crosshair, and that's a weapon on top of it. So bit of an odd decision, gives across the advantage to Syman Gaming, and maybe there is a way back in.
Yeah, they went for the flash play. Like HellRaisers at least did it right, but yeah, Norbert sees a flash coming over. He's got a nice angle for it. It doesn't blind him, and it's going to be his. But yeah, hey, you talk about like a 10-day break. Well, we saw the results of taking a break for Winstrike, right? They took a month off, didn't play any officials, and they got really wrecked in their opening games when they came back here. Right now, it's a 5-on-2. We said the AWP needs to do it all, and well, it really has. 2 kills from Mo. Norbert's got a 1, obviously, from the ramp, and well, guns have been gifted over to Syman, so they are armed and dangerous. 3 kills off this AWP, man. This was so worth saving. Couldn't have predicted it, but won't be complaining. Norbert, no armor, no problem. It's Syman with a 2nd.
Off the back of that very strange push through ramp. It really put a cat amongst the pigeons for HellRaisers, and as you say, Mo just stepping things up and picking up a bunch of kills with his AWP. It's not only does Syman win with an AWP and pistols, they win without losing a single player, so they pick up a ton of weaponry from HellRaisers and really boost their own economy.
Nothing better than winning an eco, nothing better than winning an eco and getting a free gun. So as long as you rebuy the armor, which they all have, Syman, they are sitting pretty right now. It's HellRaisers that are broke, relying on an AWP, and in the hands of JR, a good man to rely on for sure, but a difficult round. And feels like this game is going to be full of a lot of them. Lime in the connector moving out with the smoke. Syman coming in from underpass. They've got full mid control here as well with that window smoke. Player can't really do a thing. Kalinka has been repeatedly in the ladder room. We'll get mollied out, but it's not going to affect him above the ladder. And Syman just taking their time with his mid control, hoping for kills to come their way, but HellRaisers aren't budging.
Stubborn in their endeavors right now. Good flashbang into spray. Neelan claiming the first kill, breaking the deadlock. 53 seconds on the timer, and now Syman looking to try and make the most of their connected positions. But here comes Syman, nearly whiffing it. Instead gets 2 kills using all the bullets in the magazine. A 3-on-3 falls upon us, and Syman Gaming now have got to try and recover.
That's a big play from Lime. Like, that's what you need. Someone who's going to sacrifice their life for the cause. He may die, but he's provided a way for HellRaisers to win this round. Without it, this might just be done. Instead, it's still under question. HellRaisers are stacked B, though. They're rotating both of these players out. The AWP is taking its time. There's a man on the site. They haven't even begun to clear it. Flaric, oh, he goes wide, and Neelan covers. That's so close. The AWP comes through jungle and will get a responsive kill, getting a man off the site. No planter escaping today. Neelan trying to fall back for the bomb. It's nice and open for his position, and his teammates on the stairwell as well. So JR back in the window, having to fight Kios. Quick shot, but the aim punch is the problem, and problem is dead. So Syman, they're going to get it done, and they won't fall for the force or for the AWP of HellRaisers. It's going to have to be an eco now for the CT side.
Even as dodgy as that was looking for a few moments, now that HellRaisers are into, well, an eco, Syman can build that economy back up again. And to be fair, it's not really been that affected. KDO down to 1.5k, Norbert just under 3,000. The rest of them are looking pretty healthy and good. HellRaisers stacking and rushing together through ramp. It should be a massacre. And now Norbert's been seen. However, he only caught 1 player, so they're not entirely sure it's a full-out rush. And with the AWP being perched up here, Mo, this could be a little bit deadly for him. So many USPs charging, but now there's the cover. Now the reinforcements have shown their hand. Neelan with a bit of a dodgy spray, but does get flashed, and this round's done. They at least get to get the 1 kill, though, Hugo. So all things considered, it could have gone worse.
Yeah, I think that was Kios, like full flash Neelan, just like drew it in front of his face. So, you know, no problem with the spray. It's not his fault. You know, yeah, that's unlucky. Luckily, no deaths other than a single one, and HellRaisers are going to buy regardless. Kato is 0-6, man. So, you know, a bit of a slow start for him, but it's luckily not causing too much of a problem, not yet at least. I mean, this is something that can't like continue if you want to win a series, but, you know, having a slow start, not a problem. His teammates are lifting him up. Things are looking good.
Credit this Syman comeback. 4 of the last 5 rounds. KDO flashed. There was a smoke though, saves his life because Problem was lurking in the shadows of the apps. Now he drops down. I believe he was heard from KDO. Flarich and Lime have a really powerful crossfire being established here. It's giving up connector control. They're just walking straight through connector. Neelan has been sent real out of the round, but he's going to be avenged by Kios before Lime comes in. Norbert then shuts him down, and Syman taking control of A. It's not clean, but they should get the job done. JR decides to push through the Molotov, basically sacrificing himself for the cause, but does delay and stall a little bit longer for Kalinka to get into position, and Problem also to move in through jungle. If he overextends, he's going to get picked off from Mo. But now the retake is on. That should be a kill, and indeed it goes down. I was a bit worried for a moment there, though, that he wasn't going to get it done in time, but now Problem looking towards Tetris, and KDO is going to have to contend with 2 players peeking towards him. Kalinka with the spray, it's going to be the round done. They didn't have a kit as well, Hugo, so if that really did stall out a lot longer, it would have been pretty terrifying.
Yeah, I love the pre-fire tap from Kalinka. He's pretty sure he knows what KDO is, goes for one bullet. It forces KDO's shot. He's then inaccurate, and Kalinka goes back in with a peek. So, yeah, KDO still 0-7 now. Obviously not James Bonding it. He's got a couple of assists in the mix, but that's a shame. That would have been a nice time for him to come alive and maybe get some confidence. Obviously talked on the desk as someone very new to this level. His first official was this year. So, you know, you can't hate too much, but yeah, new boy on the block, having a rough start. And really good trading from Syman out that A site. So HellRaisers winning that round is huge. It's mainly the flash coming in from jungle that catches the AWP trying to retreat. And Syman, they're going to go back to this A site. Flashes for Mo above the palace, trying to pop his teammates out. And there's a lot of CTs here. Kalinka fighting back. KDO does get his opening kill, his first of the game. Traded quickly, as it often is by HellRaisers on this site. Kios swings for a fight. He had the bomb. He could have stuck the plant, but instead he goes for an engagement and has left Syman at a disadvantage in this 2-on-3.
1-3 becomes 1-on-3. Becomes no survivors. Syman do get put down without getting a bomb plant. That's going to hurt them. Still, though, financially, they did win 4 or 5 and pretty easily, so they're good to go again. But this is going to be building that confidence for HellRaisers. Their bank balance not quite there, though, Hugo. They still got some players that are pretty low and a little bit vulnerable. So Syman, sure, they've lost the last 2, but they're very much still in this half.
Without doubt, the money is still there, and the mid-control is in mind. JR getting smoked off in the window will have to fall off. He's not been AWPing mid a lot, not just because of the utility, but also we've been seeing him and CT playing rotation quite a lot, coming through jungle and assisting on those A takes, even at times fast rotate to B. That's what, you know, playing CT allows you to do, and very mobile AWP. That's a good shot. Mo finding Kalinka on the corner. He was ready for it. Nice little nade onto Cade, but it's not going to be a problem. Syman are grouping back up in middle. They've got this short pick, so they might be tempted towards that B bomb site, especially with Apartment's control, but not necessary considering Norbert's on ramp, so they can split wherever they want. But this, that's a kill. KDO holding for the apps push. Now B's open. Syman should know this. They should capitalize this. There's a max of 1 rotation here, and that's me being kind, but the bomb has been dropped. Again, Syman going for fights with the package. The B site's been clear all around, but no one is taking it. Instead, Keels is clearing A. They haven't even moved. It's not a problem, though. They're getting all the kills.
Out comes Flarich, and Mo puts him out of his misery. Leaving JL 1 versus 3, does have the AWP. But just as the momentum was building, it sharply takes a downturn, and HellRaisers nosedive into the desert plains of Mirage. It's not really looking like JR is even going to save this AWP, honestly. There's players all around him. Kiar's on one side, the remainder of Syman on the other. If he pushes either angle, he's a dead man. And Kios now coming round from the backside, gonna just put him down in the head. Syman pick up another one. And this is where HellRaisers' economy is going to be struggling significantly. There's only really one player that can afford comfortably.
Yeah, time for a timeout. HellRaisers agree. They're going to go right for it. JR is again having to be the hero here for HellRaisers, and he couldn't get it done on that one eco with the AWP force or the AWP save, so not a good sign. Syman did get that one round done with Mo finding 3. And yeah, I mean, Syman looked really, really good on this T side so far. So a competitive game, at least on our hands, in between these two teams. HellRaisers, are they buying anything else up, or are they playing for the hard eco and JR is going to be on a pistol in the next buy round? That seems to be the case. No, they will buy up. Yeah, I like that. You know, if you're going to force an AWP, force everyone. So HellRaisers really giving it a go, trying to take this round by storm. Will Syman let it slip?
I certainly respect the idea. We'll just have to see if the execution can follow it up, or if HellRaisers put themselves in a bit of an awkward position. Still, M4, AWP, Scout, couple Deegs, more than enough firepower to punish Syman if they overextend. It's really the lack of nades and kits that worries me the most here, because Syman have been typically getting onto sites. They don't have that many plants, but it's mainly because they've just massacred everyone beforehand. They've been making these inroads over on the sites time and time again. So I do worry a little bit for HellRaisers, but Molly into window, going to force back the CTs, and does open up mid-control one more time.
Ooh, they're out con. Mine doesn't know, but the flash is good. He's going to get the shot. Norbert blinding his teammate. Oh dear, the Deegs are coming through in full force for HellRaisers, and 3 kills in an instant flourish with another. And wow, it gets better and better by the second. Not for Syman though. A 1-on-5 for KDO. I mean, he's had a hard game, but this one is really stepping it up a notch. Any damage he can do here is going to be nice. Taking guns away. There's a double AWP for HellRaisers. So KDO, the key is kills in this 1-on-5. How many can he find?
Bruh. What do you do?
Yeah.
Deegs are landing left and right. It's so brutal to watch. And KDO's not going to get a single one. It's a flawless clean sweep. And that's why you have to respect the courage to go for the force, because every now and again, it will work beautifully.
Yeah, I don't understand how that can just be so clean. Like, Syman can just get so caught off guard, man. Not a single trade. Obviously, you know, HellRaisers, they're the ones peeking in there. They're not holding angles like traditional CTs. They're waiting for Syman to get comfortable, and then they're going for fights, right? Like, think about how Syman get 2 players into A, and are just looking around. There's so many angles to check. They can't see anyone. Suddenly, they get double peek from triple and jungle. Like, you know, obviously, it's by design for HellRaisers, and a very hard round to deal with for Syman. So they are going to force up and set their sights on B. 3 rifles, 2 Deagles. A bit of a push. KDO is going to die here. He's got to smoke that Molotov, and he's going to get the kill off the back of it. Massive B entries here for Syman. They say, hey, you can win a force, or so can we.
What is happening? I feel like we've seen this happen so many times, Hugo, over the duration of these last few days. It's actually insane. The group stage was even worse for it, and yet here we go again. HellRaisers and Syman. It's another back and forth with HellRaisers trying to save their 2 weapons.
Well, Vince, remember, I did say we're going back in time, mate. This is the Clutch Island closed qualifier. We've gone all the way back to the beginning, so maybe we've brought the level with it. You know, I have no explanation. I have no answer. I just have to say, CIS Counter-Strike, man. It's a drug. It's great. You know, it gives and it takes.
Be a cruel lifestyle at times, and HellRaisers has been on the receiving end this time. And they'll think, though, that push through gaps should have been dealt with better. There was one Deeg, there's a second player in there. They should have been able to hold that one down, honestly, with their positions, but it just all crumbled.
It was the push, right? We see HellRaisers go for that a lot. We see a lot of teams go for it. And, you know, a mid-round push into the apartments, you have that long line of sight. It's very easy to go, oh, it's clear. There's no one in apps. Let's take some control. But actually, wait, no, they're just tucked under pass or in the kitchen or round a corner to the left and behind one of the many partitions you can hide behind in the apartment. So, yeah, HellRaisers maybe assuming it's a little clearer than it was and walking into pistols up close. Certainly not the way forward. And yeah, really every bit of aggression HellRaisers have done in this map has been punished. Think about the ramp pushes, think about the T-spawn flank with the USPs, the B-apps plays. I can't think of any good aggression that HellRaisers have done in this game. And it's not even necessarily that it's not good aggression, it's just that Syman are ready for it. So, you know, that kind of counters it. And you can see at the start of this round, HellRaisers, they wait. Syman, they wait. They've got all the map control. They have no reason to rush. They will be flashing out a man from the palace, but Mo's only got the AWP. He's not committing. He's looking for kills, and he'll get them.
Mo can force some of those CTs to focus their fire onto him. Molotov burning Flourish from above. He is going to stay alive, but his teammate of Kalinka falls down. Problem, good spray, integral part to try to salvage this round. And Norbert can hear the footsteps of Line left and right. There's the spray looking in for the second one. The smoke allows him safe passage back out of connector. And they actually have their sights set on B anyway, so not interested on the A play. They know the last player, Flarich, was last seen on A site. And so it's going to be a plant and more than likely a round. So Syman, very rough start, but they have certainly now rebounded.
I love that plant as well that Neelan goes for, right? When you plant for Cat, it's always better to plant on like that right side than traditionally the left, which obviously is safer at times to like a market push. But if you have the control, if you have the sight, that's definitely the plant, because it means if you play it from Cat, you don't need to swing as much to know if they're sticking it. You're going to hit a tap and you can like jiggle way more effectively. It's just a nicer plant. So yeah, nice to see from Syman, but not necessary as they're already hunting this kill. They know where he is. He's got an AWP drop that I imagine he wants to grab at the end of the round. But yeah, that's maybe not going to happen. They're right behind him. Neelan's got the kill. They're going to grab the AWP, and Syman, they've looted the opponent's house there. They're going to find a 7th. This is an equal game and likely going to take the lead for Syman in round number 15 as it's HellRaisers to 4s. Actually, Vince, I say that, I already regret it because we've seen these Deagles do dastardly things.
Oh, yes. Definitely can't write off HellRaisers with full Deagles, armor, and some nades behind it. And Syman's able to navigate their way through it, though, this time. Because last time it was a nightmare, and this time it's more of the same. Kalinka and Line, wouldn't you just know it? It's like the script, I swear. It's mad. To try to...
At this point, I don't expect anything else, anything less, anything more. Even the window smoke failing. Oh dear, Norbert, watch out there, buddy. He's got an AWP. Which is nice, but obviously against 4 Deagles here, rifles might be preferable, at least in the pre-plant situation. Getting onto a bomb site can be difficult with this AWP, especially with how HellRaisers are not giving you the fights that you want. KDO trying to hit B here. He's on his own, though, and there's a lot of CTs here. His teammate coming up the catwalk, Norbert looking for a kill. He's being held, though, and that smoke down is a real issue. Oh, what a shot. Lime destroying Kiosk, and this B play just got completely uprooted. They're going to go back for the bomb and try elsewhere.
Maybe HellRaisers just by Deagles.
Yeah.
It just seems like they're way more confident. And I know Norbert's been wrecked up at 2 HP. He's going to go to the DP for the AWP. He's to be careful. KDO, hell of a tap. JR is suppressed and silenced, and it does afford Syman passage to the side. They do need to be careful and wary of Flarich, though. He is up in Palace. So if they plant out in the open, he can quickly wrap and pick up a kill. Another one goes through for KDO. Now, Flarich has just bided his time this entire time. He's allowed his teammates to die around him just to afford him that kill there. But the bomb is planted for Norbert, albeit on 2 HP. A bullet anywhere on him, and he's a dead man. But he's going to wrap into connector. There's no smokes, there's no kits. This very well could go the way of Syman yet. In comes the first player. Flarich gets flicked down, and now he's going to change up his angles again, going back into jungle this time, or at least faking it. No. He's going to push. Problem misses his shots. One bullet anywhere, and Norbert was dead. How has he survived?
He had all the info as well. He knew exactly where he was. The jumps, Norbert with a knife out, pulls the AWP at the final second. And that is a hell of a way to close. Man, this game was a game of Deags and AWPs, it felt like at times. And hey, I questioned Norbert picking it up against the pistol players. Well, apparently it was a solution. Syman up with 8 here in the opening map. They're taking the lead at halftime. We're going back into the second half after a pause, however. But yeah, what a game we've got on our hands. This is not what I expected.
I just didn't know what to expect coming into this game, and it's even within the confines of the match, I've constantly been surprised. And my expectations have been dashed multiple times, and now HellRaisers will be trailing going through into their T-half. Syman, that's a really solid T-half, all things considered. This is their choice of maps. You'd have to assume the CT side is going to be, at the very least, serviceable.
Well, that's the weird... Sorry, Vince. That's the weird thing, right? You would assume that, but like, you know, when we look at the numbers for Syman, they have 22% win rate on 9 maps played on Mirage. Like, we were shocked at the fact that they're even picking this map with such a dire win rate. Not like HellRaisers is a lot better, but it's like double, you know, in percentages. So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Syman obviously got a bit of a read as to what HellRaisers like to do and seemed pretty prepared. for this game plan. It makes me question, right? Like, if they take this map, they open up in this series, we go to Nuke, we go to HellRaisers' best map, also, funnily enough, Syman's worst map, apart from Vertigo, which they insta-ban every time. So, you know, where does that leave us? Probably going to a third, right? In theory, that's what the numbers say, but as we know, the numbers often lie, as do the Deagles. Right now, it's HellRaisers on the T side and setting up towards A in the pistol round.
I think, again, with that P250, saw this a few times in the group stage that we play Clutch Island, and he does do a lot of damage with this gun. Need to be wary, Syman. Moving towards A altogether. One player's actually snuck towards jungle. Fortunately, Kios had the cross covered. And now player in sandwich. It's that Norbert's just gone down for getting a kill. There were players that walked past him. He should have had them shot in the back of the head. Now Mo is holding it down from jungle. It's been a real mess of a round, and it's gone down to a 2v2. Problem, running out of bullets. Knows where Neelan is, and he's just been gooshed. Meanwhile, his teammate of Mo is coming under heavy fire. He goes down, as does Neelan. What a mess of a pistol, but HellRaisers is going to take it.
Yeah, quite the stack for Syman. They were very ready for that, right? 2 close sight, 2 CT, another jungle. They were all over the place, but HellRaisers is really good trading, and they're going to get it done in the 2-on-2. So force up for Syman in the second. Again, these Deagles, it means Syman are pretty much favored in this round, judging by how this game has gone so far. And so HellRaisers, they got some heavy lifting to do with the 3 rifles, 2 SMGs, setting up towards B. Got Neelan playing cat side, KDO watching Yaps, and actually I think that bodes well for HellRaisers. KDO is still struggling, 5 and 12. He's got a hard role to fill, and HellRaisers are rushing him down.
KDO gets 2, but also tags out Lime. HellRaisers need to be pushing in. If they get stuck in the confines of Apps, it's going to be the dream scenario for Syman. And they have it locked out with the scout. Mo connects, as does Norbert, and Neelan chips in for the last. Once again, the Desert Eagles reign supreme. It is a consistent constant with the CIS region.
It's like a joke at this point. I don't understand why HellRaisers run B and then all stop in the apartments to take fights. Even after like they lose the first 2 players, sure, that's a bit of a rough one, but you definitely need to commit. You definitely need to get the bomb site. They had no control. They're just sitting in the windows getting picked at from market, from short, and from bench. So yeah, you need the commitment there if you're HellRaisers. But luckily enough, Vince, HellRaisers have Deagles, so they're going to win this round.
If victory in this game is anything to go by, it should be theirs. It should be a comfortable one, but Norbert's going to try and put a stop to that sequence of events. And Problem and Lime have also come under heavy duress. So maybe Syman can break the mold. Maybe they can break the curse and lift it. Norbert lifting Lime out of the round with his M4. And now HellRaisers have the arduous task of clutching a 3v5, and everybody on Syman is pretty healthy.
They've eaten their vegetables. They've gone for a couple of mile run. They've filed their taxes. Health is at an all-time high in the Syman camp, but can they close it? That's the question. HellRaisers creeping and crawling towards the connector. It's a man on catwalk. Neelan's not spotting. He's not going to be able to know this. Oh, the flash. It could be well timed, but Problem is out already inside. Barrett's trading, or traded rather, by Mo with 2, and there's the cat play eventually coming through. 10 for Syman. They're taking control on the CT side. HellRaisers may have won the pistol round, but they'll find nothing further. Another eco, this time with no Degos, and it's going to likely just going to be an 11th round here for Syman. P250 and Glocks.
Grim set up on HellRaisers. If they decide to go for, it's going to be a mid push by the looks of things. It's going to be rushing through and hoping for the best. And they made the P250 shot land nearly a second. Problem dinking. Mo down to 19 HP, but now the cavalry has arrived and they are just going to stampede all over HellRaisers. 1 casualty, but Syman do take the 11-8 lead.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a double there by the P2, right? Hate inaccuracy, but it is a part of the game, and yeah, it really causes that P250 to go everywhere after the first kill. And this is it. Do or die now for HellRaisers. They want to get their first rifle round underway. They don't want Syman to keep streaking together rounds, building an economy, and keeping a lot of players alive like they have been doing. Oh, the cat jumper gets spotted. Oh, Kalinka's going to be ready for Neelan, and the Molotov really gives it away anyway. Good bit of utility, but little value as smokes cover all of middle. Double push on the ramp works wonders as Lime goes through the smoke, and Problem is hiding in one that will fade, so Kios might be favored here as well. Nice grenade. Syman already making this round hard, already chipping away at their opponents.
Relentless. HellRaisers trying to get some kind of control and stranglehold over towards the A side. They're going to be maybe hitting this two-prong through-up connector as well. Smoke out from Kalinka. This will afford them a bit more safe passage, but it's about JR here. Can he get some entry? Gives his position away, doesn't do any damage in the process. And this is where Syman are going to be feeling pretty strong. Kios off angle is good for one. Beautiful flashbang in from Norbert affords them a second. That's the bomb that goes with it. And now it's down to Flarich on connector to try and pick up a 1v5. And he's going to stumble. Kios with a 4K with a FAMAS. Impressive work, moves on 21 and 12. And HellRaisers thwarted again.
Yeah, bear in mind, HellRaisers are favored in this series, right? So this is a really impressive scoreline for Syman. I do want to say, like, this is definitely a game where you have to look at it as like a BO3, not like map to map, because, you know, despite Syman, you know, controlling the game here, I don't know if that will continue in their second map of the series and HellRaisers pick. So, oh dear, that's unlucky. A good start, at least for Syman. They're going to try and keep the good times rolling, and a trade on the ramp with the Molotov, Mo finding a mid pick, and HellRaisers grouping B with a bomb. They've got Deagles, but this time they're not supplying the sustenance that they have in the past. Neelan watching lower, and boy, I've never seen anyone play from this spot, but it will work wonderfully. Kalinka's not ready for it, and HellRaisers, they may as well just rush B and try and go for a plant. There's only one man here. This is the most empty the site's going to get.
Read, though, that they have the courage to force through with their Deagles. You kind of have to take a risk and a gamble in these situations. It's unlikely that Syman are going to gift wrap too many free opportunities across to them. It's a problem with Flarich now deciding, okay, B is the correct decision, and it's down to whether KDO can trade this out effectively. Even if he goes down, it would be a 2v3 retake with a healthy dosage of grenades at the disposal of Syman, so it's looking pretty good across the board. He's come out, and that's a beautiful one dig. It's at the cost of a lot of health for Problem, though, but at least a post plant will be forthcoming. Max roundless bonus. They're going to have a really solid buy in the next one, but can they hold on? Can they manage to weather the storm? It's not looking good for them. The Kios goes in for one, and Neelan cleans up the very low Problem. So successful retake, but the first bomb plant for HellRaisers in this second half.
Yeah, money, but at what cost? The scoreline is pretty confident now, pretty clean for Syman, and HellRaisers, they've got money themselves, but they need to provide results. They haven't had a round since the pistol, been 5 in a row for Syman, and so it's now or never here for HellRaisers if they want to compete on the T side of Mirage. Otherwise, they probably got Nuke just slipping out of their sleeve, dangling down. 13-8. Smoke in the window early as well. Neelan even Molotoved it, but he doesn't get too much of a gap to fight. Grenade does almost nothing, and HellRaisers fast cat to B. I like this play. I love it when teams throw this in. Oh dear, Kalinka, that's a great shot. B player dead. There's a rotate fast in the form of Neelan, but he's got a lot to do and not a lot to do it with. There's one doubling down. Neelan locking the site under his control, and Syman, the bomb isn't here. They haven't committed, and now they've lost the site. Plus their two apartments players. This was a great opening, a great idea, but with Kalinka not committing to taking B after getting that pick, Neelan's able to lock down the entire site. So HellRaisers, they've made this round very hard for themselves.
That's a really well put kind of phrase there, Hugo, that it's indecision. They're kind of their own worst enemies. They have the advantages. They have potential to outright win the round if they just have the conviction to follow through. And yet we just see them kind of second guess themselves. And Syman fill in the gaps, get that confidence working for them, and now it's looking like they're going to be able to hold this one down. Incendiary into connector and pushing out there's just suicide. The Flarich is going to be pushed out. Inevitably, JR does connect a shot through the wooden panels onto Norbert. The two players here still. Norbert takes the fight. That is ballsy.
To me, it just looks like HellRaisers are like overreading every round, and when they get kills, they think that Syman are going to like super over rotate, which they never do. Syman's rotations have been, if anything, like too slow, but because HellRaisers haven't been planting the bomb, Syman aren't rushed. So HellRaisers, they keep getting kills on B and then ending on the A site like 40 seconds later, but Syman aren't leaving because, yeah, they lose B, but then they send one dude in and he clears out the entire site. So yeah, this is just a very weird game for HellRaisers where it doesn't feel like they're comfortable on the T side of this map, and they don't know what to do after they get those kills. Multiple opening frags with very little behind it, And yeah, there's a reason that Syman have not dropped a round since losing the pistol in this second half. Forced by a win that has kept the wind in their sails, and they are floating to the finish line. Kios with another. It's going to be a 3-on-5 here for HellRaisers, stuck in the middle.
Stat for me as well, Hugo, is HellRaisers have won 8 rounds. 2 of them have been their pistols. They've won both pistol rounds, and they're still being completely decimated.
Yeah, even with conversions on the CT side as well, right? So that's even worse. That's like 4 rounds. Like half of their rounds are pistols or conversions. So yeah, that doesn't bode well either, I guess. Nice boost up. Barak is in the window. Oh, he can double it. Oh, those vents can be a real problem in seeing your opponents. But luckily, Neelan shoots first. And at times, it is who shoots first, who dies first, because you're going to break the vents with your early bullets, and then your opponent is going to kill you as the vents are broken. So a rough one there for Neelan. Cadio rotating off of B. It is going to be that A play. Norbert looking to put up a multi-kill at minimum.
JR does pick up his 11th kill. Not had the greatest of performances, but can still have the time to turn it round. Cadio, in the meanwhile, going to be moving through onto jungle. Does have a HE and a flash plus the kit, but JR watching CT, his teammate watching from ramp. It's looking unlikely that KDO can really get too much from this, and I think he agrees with that assessment because he was pulling back, decides better off that actually, realizing they do have the money to justify going in for this, but he takes an off shot on his way in, and Flaric will push him out.
I feel like oh, sorry. I thought you were done, Vince. I don't mean to interrupt you. You are valued. But I was going to say, I've never seen like such a new player look so nervous when you have like these young players that join like teams like, you know, Brokey, Bimus are like great examples to join like FaZe. Obviously, it's a very different level, right? But like those players are always so confident, so fearless, and that's why I think they get away with so much because they just don't care who they're up against. Man, KDO looks scared in so many of these rounds. It looks like nice shot. It looks like he's nervous, like even just there in the 1-on-2, he goes for it, then he peels back to mid, then he redecides. Like the whole time he's got kit util, he's in a 1-on-2 with money. Like it's a viable round for sure, but it just seems like he's not convinced or not confident. And that's something that, like, at this level, you can't not be confident. You can't not believe in yourself or you're going to lose. Like, simple as that. Luckily, his team are really putting things together. And it's not like KDO is, you know, throwing away rounds for his team. He is playing his role. He is staying alive. And that's fine. But, you know, hopefully we can see him get more and more confident as his series goes on because he has good reason to be, man. 14-9, the bomb down in T-spawn. Neelan's got the shot. He surely has the round, and that's going to be map point here for Syman on their pick. So all the reason to feel good about yourself. HellRaisers, they don't even have the money to stop you.
The aspect about that round as well, Hugo, is HellRaisers, they had the advantage. They went through middle. They had the player advantage. They then face a double peeking connector. Somehow the connector player trades 1-for-1. I have no idea how because they peeked him from both angles.
Yeah.
HellRaisers 6 map points to try and remedy, and they prove a deal on the Galil. Syman have looked really impressive. You know, if you look at the stats coming into this, you'd have pretty much written them off. Well, they've definitely proved a lot of people wrong.
Well, right there, if it's 10 days off, it can provide a lot of value, right? With both sides of the coin, it can make you forget how hard Pro CS is, or it can, you know, if you use the time right, reinvigorate you. And I'm sure Syman have done a lot of research, done a lot of homework, and the results are clearly there. Not in this round, though. 5-on-2. Boy, they have been beaten down. Norbert's hiding in the sandwich. He's going to go forward with a flashbang. Finds one. There's another player in the palace and one in the sandwich. He's got a double. Norbert could do this on his own. It's 3 kills, but the wide swing off the back of the reload. He wasn't ready for the kill, and Kalinka will take it. Good damage from Norbert, though. He really softens them up. And it's not like HellRaisers are going to be rich here as they still attempt another 5 rounds in a row.
Out, and that last-ditch heroics from Syman could catch up with HellRaisers eventually if they fail to convert. JR just with a P250, surely he's dropped an AWP or something. What's going on here then?
Money's low, and it's either like buy an SMG or play P250 and hope you win the round so you can buy an AWP. He'll be able to afford it next time. But yeah, that's a big gamble.
That's if you can win the round. If you don't, you're done. The map's over with. Unfortunately for him, HellRaisers are pouncing. They've got entries onto the site. Neelan using the smoke to hide in there. Lime is watching it. Now going to spot him. Does get dinked, but that's where the AK will triumph over the M4. Insta headshot will take Neelan down. And Syman do concede again. So this is where that risk from JR is going to pay off for them.
Yeah.
Syman going to try and save their 2 rifles, looking like they should be able to do that, but they do have JR sneaking up into middle to try and dispatch of Norbert, who is still hiding in the windows. But hey, fair play to HellRaisers. That's 2 in a row. They've won 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, there's a free AWP in B, man. JR, he's in the wrong place. It's the back of the site. Problem's going to take it, so it's fine that JR can drop an AK, but yeah, at least it does get saved after all. Everyone's got a gun as well, so that's a nice feeling. And yeah, I've never seen it really become like meta game to play that way, where one of your players doesn't buy a gun, but there are definitely rounds where it works well because you can save money, you know, but especially on a round like that where you're going for a B rush, you know you're going to get an engagement in the first 10 seconds. You know either one of your players is going to die, which means a gun for JR, or you're going to get the entry. And considering you're capitalizing on that entry, that's a gun dropped in B or a gun dropped in app. So one or the other, JR is going to get armed. You see Chris do it a lot, right, on mouse sports, like buying deagles. Chris and Rops do it all the time. Just buy a secondary. The deagle's so good for playing like close positions and getting 2 shots to the chest, and then upgrading to a gun, saving money. It's something mouse sports do a lot. So yeah, I always like it. It is dangerous for sure, especially against Map1. But hey, what's life without a bit of dangerous?
Absolutely true. And that right now, the danger is they could be losing to an M4 and some pistols, unless they're careful. Unfortunately for them, Kalinka, once again, putting on and getting kills, miss from JL to start things off, but does get a second kill into Mo, and now KDO comes back onto him. 2v1, but KDO, no kit, no nades, and only 13 HP with a FAMAS. It's not looking good for him. And he has missed his jump, which would have got him a fast wraparound, a potential chance to deny the bomb plant. But if he walks around catwalk, he's a dead man. Molotov going to be there to greet him, but he's going into middle anyway, so he's going to be bypassing that and coming in a little bit later. Now, he does have the SG at range. That one-tap potential is still on the cards. Plus, there is an AWP below him, so I assume he's actually setting up to save that AWP instead.
That's yeah, underwhelming ending, but probably the right call. KDO's so low that it's probably not winnable at this point. HellRaisers, man, this comeback is real. It's actually happening in front of our eyes. 3 rounds in a row up against Map1. HellRaisers not letting go of this game. And I mean, again, I don't want to harp, but like looking at the score, but looking at the difference between KDO and the rest of his team, like everyone is fragging here for Syman. The second worst player is 20 kills, and then it's KDO at 9. So yeah, like that could be the difference maker. If he can find like a double kill in a round, and then his team can just keep on doing what they're doing, there's a very good chance Syman will push us over the line. But there's nothing to suggest that's going to happen. 15-12, HellRaisers hunting for 3 more, and they've got everything now. They've got all the money.
How things have changed in favor of HellRaisers momentum-wise, but they still know that one mistake, one lapse in judgment, communication will cost them it all. This comeback will be worth naught. Damage to Kalinka through the smoke from Kiosk, but nothing too serious. However, Syman have already depleted a lot of their utility, and there's still vast amounts of time left, but that's definitely going to help alleviate the pressure. Mo drilling into Kalinka in middle puts the pressure back on HellRaisers. They've pretty disjointed as well in terms of their approach, but still time to remedy the solution and try and push together. They do have a player in Palace, one outside of ramp as well. But Mo just spots a player hopping across and also takes down Lime. That is huge. That could be the beginning of the end here, Hugo. It's hard to see them get back into this round.
Yeah, it might just be done. They might give Mo an AWP ace to close the map. He's going back for 2 more. JR swinging with the AWP. Oh, nice shot. Norbert's coming out CT. There's a chance if Flourish has found a kill. And Mo needs to stay alive. If he dies here, it's a 2-on-2. And it suddenly might be lost after all. It's all worth playing for the post plant here if you're Syman. Give them the bomb plant. Money is no longer a factor. And that's a great kill. Flourish was ready for the exact angle that Mo was on. And now the AWP's posted CT. KDO playing safe here. Rightly so. Here's the plant. He's going to move in. Neelan coming from connector. They've got their back turn. Flourish dropped KDO with 1. And there it is. We said he needed a double. And that's going to push him over the line. Mo with 3. KDO with 2. And that's Syman taking their map pick.
Got to give them congratulations there, Hugo. They came into this very poor stats and proved a lot of us wrong. Really solid CT half, I've got to say. There were some blips